Hey guys, review for Bundle 1-2 test. Things you'll need to know. I guess the test, we're not trying to kill you with this format. It really is fairly simple, but also representative of like a STAR test. So there are 26 multiple choice questions and then a large matching section of 10. Okay, so just know that the multiple choice, the distractors, the ones that are not the answers, are actually a little tricky on some of them. So you need to be, really careful in your reading of the question. What is the question about? And don't jump to conclusions. Don't read so fast that you make small errors, because it has a big impact. Because if you miss 3 accidentally just because you were trying to go so fast, changes your grade a lot. Now, it's a class set, and so you will not write on the test. You'll write on an answer document. The answer document is a half piece of paper, and it just has the blanks for you to put your letters in. Okay? So you'll need to be careful when you are writing your answers that you're putting them in the correct place and you're writing the letter that you want. Okay. Things to use to study. 1. Number 5, Original 13 Colonies brochure. Not getting away from this, it's still here. Alright, so this one is going to help you because there are many, many questions where the answers are contained in here. Alright, all the founders. You're going to have lots of questions about the founders. What colony were they from? Who was from Georgia? Who was from Massachusetts? What did they believe? Okay, some of them were kicked out of their colony. Why were they kicked out of their colony? So I would focus a lot on the founders. If you didn't take good notes on the days that we filled this in, all the notes for this are on the class website. You can find them in week 1 and also in week 2 under assignments, and there are notes for the brochure is what it's labeled. Okay, so all the notes are in there about the founders. This sheet, we've labeled it number 14 in my class, the English laws. Okay, so you definitely need to know this. Focus on this. Magna Carta limited the power of the king. Petition of Rights established the rule of law. The rule of law is simply that laws must be written. They should be written, agreed upon, and equal or fair. And then the English Bill of Rights is different than the other two, and it established individual rights for people. Those are the key things that you'll need to know, but there's others in the notes. Okay, so this document is going to be on there, and then this, I changed it from 15, it's now 13 on our wall. Number 15, the foldable notes over representative government. So you'll definitely need to be able to but know the differences in Virginia House of Burgesses, which is the same as House of Burgesses, Mayflower Compact, General Court, Fundamental Orders of Connecticut. Okay. Also, a definition of what is representative government, which is at the top. Okay. In class, many of you were able to do the scavenger hunt today, and this had really good questions, great review. The answers for this are currently on the website under week 5 assignments, and bundle 1 and 2 scavenger hunt answers, I think is what I labeled it. Okay, so the answers to this review are online as well. Now the big one that we went over, the bundle test review. So it's on blue paper. We've been working on it this week. We got this Monday. Now, many of these are simply definitions on the front. Okay, and all of this, I'm not going to, they're just basic definitions for us. Things students get mixed up on, however, that I would have you focus on. What's the difference and similarities between Jamestown and Plymouth? So you might do a T-chart. Jamestown on one side, Plymouth on the other. Okay, what year were they founded? Because they were founded in different times. They were founded in different places. One was in New England, one was in Virginia. Okay, and so people, I know on the different tests, were mixing information up between Jamestown and Plymouth, and that will really hurt you on this. Jamestown 1607, Plymouth 1620. The people who founded each of those settlements went for different reasons. So who were the people who founded Plymouth? Why did they go there? What were they trying to achieve? Why did they leave England? Similarly, Jamestown, why did those people go there? Why did they leave? What were they trying to accomplish? One of the questions that pops up, I'm just going to hit some things that trick students. Mayflower Compact, it established two things, and students miss this. All right, it establishes the idea of a representative government. It also establishes the idea of majority rules. Okay, so both those things students need to know. Fundamental orders, the word fundamental means kind of primary. It's also could be seen as the first thing, so it is the first written constitution, okay, in the colonies, and so it is fundamental, all right, because it was the first. All right, I would also do a T-chart on like Puritans, Pilgrims, and Quakers, or at least know the differences between Puritans, Pilgrims, and Quakers. These three groups are definitely going to be on the bundle test. You'll need to be able to know who was living in which region, who was New England, Middle, Southern, what did they believe, what was similar, what was different. I'm looking at the blue sheet to see what else might trick you. On the back, number 19, what factors led to the use of African slaves by colonists during the 1600s? So African slaves, one, you had a need for an increased labor force because of the types of crops that they were growing, especially in the South. So these cash crops were labor intensive: cotton, rice, indigo, tobacco, and so they needed a workforce, one. Two, the Africans were immune to European diseases, so that was a plus, and they already had experience farming from their life in Africa, so they didn't have to train them on farm skills. The original 13 colonies were located, what we're looking for is geographic features. So you have the 13 colonies, they are sandwiched between the Atlantic Ocean and the Appalachian Mountains. All right, and so that's where they are located, between the Atlantic Ocean and the Appalachian Mountains. You'll definitely need to know information from the brochure on each of the colonial regions. Okay, so New England colonies up north, how did they make their money? What was their economy? What was the climate like? What was the land like? Then middle colonies, same thing. What was their economy? What were they doing to make money? What was their climate and economy like? Climate and the land forms like, the geography. And then for the southern, same thing. So we're going to ask you questions. There'll be many questions about that. What was the land like, the climate, the geography, and the economies? What did they do in each region to make money? Now, number 23 on the back, how did Anne Hutchinson, Roger Williams, and William Penn have an impact on religious freedom in our country today? That specific question is not going to show up on the bundle test, but you definitely need to know William Penn, what did he do, why is he significant, and what colony was he from? Same thing, Roger Williams and Hutchinson. Why are they historically significant? The last one, number 24, identifying the importance of the following documents: Magna Carta, English Petition of Rights, English Bill of Rights. That you definitely need to know. The last question says, explain how each led to representative government and how they influenced colonial government. You're not going to have to do a writing on that, okay? Although we could very easily have turned that into a writing prompt, but we're not going to. So don't spend your time, on that, prepping for that kind of writing. If you have, those of you who really completed this is some basic information you definitely need to know. This is the main document that you'll need to know information from, as well as these two. All right, this is what we've been covering. Now, We have been covering information about the French and Indian War this week, a little bit last week. We've been covering things about the Treaty of Paris and the proclamation, but none of that is on this bundle test. Okay, so nothing about the French and Indian War. You won't have to prep any of that, so don't study any of that. That's everything about the test. And for my class, if you have quiz corrections for quiz number 3 about representative government, those are, you can turn them in tomorrow if you have them, but they're not due till Monday. But after Monday, I'm not accepting those, so make sure and get those in. Okay, if you're watching this, I'm sure you're going to do great on the quiz, and you have these documents. It's not a quiz, it's a bundle test. So study, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.